Hey everybody, welcome to Zoo Science. My name is Cynthia, and today we're going to do an experiment I like to call shiny penny science. So go grab some old pennies. Hopefully everyone has some of those laying around. Find the grungiest, nastiest ones that you can. In fact, a little hint, if they're dated before 1983, they might even work a little better for you because they put more copper in the pennies back then. Here's a bright, shiny new one to compare. Beautiful, bright, shiny copper penny, old, grungy copper pennies. So what has happened to these pennies, guys, over the years is they've gone through a process called oxidization. Lots of syllables, big word, for just a chemical reaction between the metal or the copper in the penny and oxygen. So they have developed a darker kind of coating called oxide, right? So we are going to get that oxide off and make shiny new pennies. Let me show you how it's done. You can do this at home. So what I need you to do, get a dish or a cup, put some regular white vinegar, some table salt, pour it in, mix it up, and then drop those pennies right into that bowl. Now, be careful not to let them overlap too much because then those surfaces won't get exposed to the vinegar and the salt. What is happening is the vinegar is an acid. It reacts with the salt and the copper in the penny. And believe it or not, guys, it doesn't take long to start working. I can see it already, changing those dark, dull, dingy pennies into a brighter coppery color. So, in the interest of time, I did one about 10-15 minutes ago. These pennies to start with, guys, were just as nasty as the ones I put in there. So over time, that's what will happen to them, and you can even help them along if you want by giving them a little scrub with an old toothbrush. So kind of cool. And what I really think is neat is you can reverse this process. When you take your pennies out of the solution, instead of drying them off, let them air dry. And what you'll get is a re-oxidization of that penny. That copper with the salty vinegar water that's on there will react with the air and they'll start to turn grungy again, maybe even green. Sometimes copper, if it's oxidized enough, will turn green and it'll take on this beautiful green patina or coating of color. Question, can you think of a famous statue that has actually happened to? I bet you've seen it in movies or TV. If you guessed the Statue of Liberty, you would be correct. So this beautiful lady was a gift to our country from France, and when it first came to our country in the 1800s, it was a beautiful copper color. But over time, sitting over that salty water of the New York harbor, it took on this beautiful green patina. That is oxidization at work, right? And they tried to sandblast it and clean it, but they just decided it kept happening again and again, and they just decided to leave it that beautiful green color. Fun fact, if you've ever been to our zoo, and I sure hope you have, and I hope you come back, you may have noticed this gorgeous statue at our main entrance. So these are 4 life-size elephants, and they're made of bronze. Bronze is a mixture of copper and tin, and they were made in China and had to be shipped by boat over to us here in the United States, and it took 40 days. So for 40 days, they moved across the saltwater ocean, and some of the vapor got on them, and when they arrived, they were as green as our Statue of Liberty. And our staff had to really go to town and sandblast them to get that oxide off of them, that patina, to get them back to their bronze color that you'll see. And we still have to do that occasionally with them. Sandblasting, same thing we did. Little acid, little salt, lots of scrubbing, and you've got a release of oxidization. So next time you come, say hey to the elephant statues. Tell them you know all about what they've been through in that oxidization process. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Have a good one.